So today we are going to try to put the cover on our camper, for better or for worse. We have done this before, so we've had a season with it, season without it. I don't know that it made a difference, but it didn't hurt anything, so we want to try it out since we actually have our camper in our driveway this year. So I'm going to show you what we've got put together so far as supplies and go from there. Got the camper. Lots of debate on whether we should have stabilizer jacks down or not. We're going with keep them down just because we are on a little bit of an incline and it makes me a little nervous. Wheels are chocked, double chocked. We got X chocks. We got other little rubber chocks. Yeah, that's a mouse trap. We've got some of those set up as well. Got our cover. Some bungee cords, some blanket clips, more bungee cords, ratchet straps. Got the ladder over there, that's going to come out. And we also rolled out the awning this morning to let that dry out, get any condensation we can get out. Try to get that as dry as possible. So yeah, here we go. So something I didn't mention earlier was we want to try to put something on the gutters so they don't get caught in the cover and vice versa. So I actually have these left over from a gift that Mike got me for my birthday. There's foam, this groove in them. Before we used pool noodles, those worked really well, but I just had these laying around. I'm gonna throw them in the garbage anyhow, so I'm gonna hack them in half with a hacksaw here real quick and see if they fit. Not that way. This might have been overkill, but I never get to use it. There you go. So now, cut in half. I'm pretty sure that'll fit. So let's give it a shot and see what happens.
All right, so she's climbing up on her little perch here. She's going to tape off the gutter covers. She's going to go ahead and she's got a piece of foam up there. Take some duct tape real quick, wrap it around, give it a little squeeze, make sure it's fitting nice and tight, and then just kind of, tie in the end of that piece of tape there. Just touch it on the edge of the camper just to make sure it stays put while we get the cover in place. Just that easy. Done. Ready for a cover. Thanks, my dear.
So yesterday we did all of the antifreeze through the lines, and that was a success. But we also cleaned all of the residue out of the sinks and the toilet here. Just so we're not staining anything. I also put, this is between the bathroom and the rest of the camper, a damp rid, because obviously our bathroom is a high moisture area, as is the kitchen, so it just seemed like a natural spot. And this is a tiny little camper. Some other things we do, want to open up the refrigerators and the freezer and prop them open. So our power's on right now. We're going to unplug that in a second. I use these tension rods. They're adjustable. Put them in there. Like such. Does not close. One more in the freezer. There. That way we don't get any mold or anything else growing in here in the winter. We've looked at some campers where they did not do this and made the mistake of opening the door in the dealership. Oh, it's disgusting. So prop open your doors. We have one more damp rid. I actually put it down here. So this hubby goes to the outside as well, so you can see maybe damp red. So yeah, I think that's it for now.
Take the cover out of the bag, get it set up to flip on top of this thing. It's been a few years since I've used this cover. I can tell you that, you know, if you ever open one of these up, it's giant. You go to put it back in the bag, we just kind of crammed it in there. So I don't know what we got. We're gonna roll it out, see if I gotta spin it around, make sure the front's in the back in the front. We'll see what it looks like when I open the bag. Here we go. Had to run out to my truck to grab the extra long straps. These are pretty much just for throwing it over the top of the camper. So you clip these in on the far side here, throw them over the camper, pull on them from the other side to help get it to go over top of the camper. So I'm going to clip these in place, throw them over the camper, get this thing pulled over.
We're gonna take a minute and then figure out what we're doing next, but it's on.
Okay, so the fun was rolling it out. Of course, we got it rolled out. It was backwards. Had to turn it around. We kind of burrito it inside itself and throw it over. Use long straps, throw it over and pull it down, right? But I don't know, maybe there's a better way. Maybe you burrito it complete, run it across the top of the ridge, and then roll it out and let it fall down. Either way, once you get it on, this is the end result, right? We have a cover on there, ready to go. So what I normally do, cinch down the back first. So they come with these clips right on it, at least the one I bought did. So I just go ahead and clip it up across the back here. Probably make sure it's not twisted. Tighten those up in a minute, but I like to make sure it's covering everything, so I do have it covering the jacks as best they can. And now I'm just going to make sure this wheel is nice and covered here. Just a quick long bungee cord, wrap around, push it back, makes it nice and tight. Go ahead and tighten these up a little bit. The plastic, you can't get too crazy here, so a little bit goes a long way. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So next is the straps. There's clips along the edge here with straps with clips on the other end of the strap. Throw them under, clip them on the other side, and then tighten all that down. Sorry, was that too close to your camera?
It's okay.
Now I'll go around the other side, clip them in. Got it clipped, but the tightener, tensioner is on the other end. So.
Doesn't want to reach. Tires are in the way. What do you got?
It'll reach, but just barely.
So one of our straps that we threw over originally did rip off. in the process of pulling the cover over the camper, so one way or another we're going to have to figure out a different method for next time.
Yeah, so happens it broke the clasp where it mounts into the tarp, so I'll have to get creative there.
So our creativity, one of our favorite things, blanket clips. You can get them at Lowe's. They come in different sizes. I didn't realize I had dirt all over my face. Doing good. Okay, so we just actually ran the strap through the hole that was left by the first strap we're ripping off. And as you can see there, blanket clip, wrap it around. Hopefully it holds. We'll see.
So these RV covers are sold by the length of the model. They tell you how to measure them and all that, but I find it very difficult to find exactly the right size. That's why when I put this thing on, I start in the back, make sure the back's buttoned up nice. I tuck it under, clamp it down that way. Then I work my way to the front, and I pull everything to the front, tuck it, clip it, and then you'll see I'm going to try to do my best to get it from wobbling and shaking in the wind. So first step is tuck these corners in, make sure I got it pulled forward as far as I can get it. Then there's a clip here across the center. See, clip it, tightens it up. Now I'm gonna push it back over the tanks a little bit. Make sure it's fully behind that. Kind of tuck it under here. Same thing at the bottom. There's clips here, comes across to the other side. Tuck these in. I'm under the tongue right here. This is where the tongue is. So I know that it's not gonna go flying off. That's good and tight. Okay, now I got a lot of excess here. Again, another issue with RV covers. They can't make them fit tight on every model. It's just impossible. So I'm gonna get creative here, find a way to tuck this stuff in a little bit. I think pull it off one side like this. Probably bungee cord this right around there. I'll give that a shot. Do yourself a favor, get the variety pack. They got the little cone shaped piece or the tube, clear tube. Get whatever size you might need for the purpose. Again, I'm going to bunch this back together here. Pull it as tight as I can get it. Wrap it around this tongue jack. It's going to come in with a bungee. Looks like I'm going to take 2 rounds. Or 3. Perfect. Done. Tuck these in. Okay. Still not liking how much play there is in here. I'll give this a shot, perhaps. Another long bungee, very soft, stretchy. I think I'm going to cut through here. See what I can do to come around this somehow. Don't know what I'm going to grab to. Let's see here.
Want me to try to hold something?
Maybe just something like that. There we go. Using what they gave us, right? Hopefully that'll get us pretty good. Now, because I really like things to be tight on there so it's not blowing around, she turned me on to using blanket clips for everything. These things are like $1 a piece, and we have probably 15, 20 of them. We use them for everything from clipping up a string of lights to, you know, holding up a tapestry or whatever we might hang. We got a American flag sometimes we put out when we're camping. Stuff like this as well. Just kind of clipping it down to make sure any of this loose flapping stuff is just kind of bunched somewhere and clipped off. I actually just clipped it to itself. That feels pretty good. I think that's good. Put away for the year. Don't think there's much else we can do to it. We've put out some mouse traps. We're gonna make sure they're in place and got bait on them. Make sure nobody's trying to live in our homestead over here. Otherwise, end of the season. We just got done putting the cover on the RV. Caitlin helped a lot. Again, we put covers on the gutters, some little foam pieces, taped them on, rolled the cover out, fought with it.
He seems to think it's going to be worth it. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings. It's a major pain in the ass to deal with. I am concerned about if we caused any damage to the gutters, to the air conditioner, to the
Vents and the
vents,
antenna.
the antenna, the awning, pulling, while we're pulling that cover over the camper. So that's yet to be seen. So we're kind of on opposite sides of the fence on this one. He thinks it'll be worth it. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm a little torn.
I think the pulling it over is a problem. I think need to do an inside wrap burrito so that as you unroll it, you're rolling it on it. So maybe make the burrito and then use a ladder and set it up on the edge of one side of the roof and roll it over and then let the side fall down where you're standing. Might be the better method. I don't know. I've watched videos where they say throw the strap over and pull on it and all of that. It's either way, it's not easy, but I do think it's worth it. Keeping that shade on it, keeping the sun off that surface, and of course keeping the moisture off.
Right. My concern with the making a burrito and setting it up there, like, that sounds easy enough. That thing weighs a metric.
Fair enough.
So I don't know whose friends are coming over with their ladders to hoist this thing up there simultaneously, but I don't know how the hell we would do that.
Yeah, it'd be a challenge either way.
It
sure.
would be a challenge for sure.
But I do think it's worth it because we live in Northeast Ohio and the winters here can be really bad at times. Sometimes we'll get, 3 feet of snow in one storm. So it's good, I think, to keep that bulk of snow off of it. And it does get a little windy. We live like in a subdivision outside the city here where I don't expect major wind, but enough that it's going to shake it around. So we tried to strap it down tight and see how it fares. I think we agreed. If it shreds at all, we're done with it.
Yeah, hopefully no major storms this year. We were hit by a tornado earlier this summer though. The end of our street, there was a rec center, ripped the roof right off the thing. So, I mean, there's always the potential. We are close to the lake. Some nasty things can happen, and hopefully they don't.
So until we get a shop to put it in, heated garage, that's the next phase hopefully for us. This is the next best thing.
Yep.
So we appreciate you tuning in to watch. As always, from Camp Kalawalik, I'm Mike.
Ha! He doesn't know who I am.
I'm waiting for you to say I'm Caitlin.
Oh, I'm Caitlin.
And it's been good having you again. We'll see you on the next one.